We've made it to this part of the Achilles tendon program, whether you're trying to rehab or prevent. The mobility and stability videos really should only take you about a week or two, and that's to help you get the Achilles to calm down if it's acute and inflamed. The biggest thing with tendon injuries, all tendon injuries, is a heal with load. You have to have gradual load, and that's what we're going to do in this biggest part of this series, the strength series, is we're going to slowly build up the load tolerance of your Achilles so you can get back out there and start running and start also building up that tolerance as well. Again, it goes back to calf strength. In this first video, we're going to hit an isometric move, an eccentric move, and a dynamic loading move. And we're going to do 3 different versions of this to give you a little bit of variety, but also to progress it. So as you start feeling more comfortable with things, increase the volume and the sets that you're doing, but only do it when it's pain-free. Our first calf strengthening move is the isometric hold. What I want you to do, if you have access to weights or you have a gym membership, go to the gym, load up a barbell with about 25 to 50% of your weight. So say I'm 200 pounds, I'm going to put 50 to 100 pounds on this bar. I'm gonna put it on my shoulders like I'm going to squat, and then from here, I'm going to come up and hold for 5 seconds, and I'm gonna do 3 sets of 5 of that. Our second exercise is a biggie. This is the gold standard for Achilles tendinopathy rehab. Everybody's been doing this for decades. It still works, but we know now that different types of exercises, not just an isometric or just an eccentric or just jumping, helps Achilles and tendons heal. It's a variety of all that. So what we're gonna bring in is the eccentric step let down. You've seen this. Anytime you look up what to do with an Achilles tendon injury, this is it. But here's how I want you to progress it. The first thing we're gonna do is no step, not going below parallel. We're just gonna come up, slowly let ourselves down to the ground. When you can do 3 sets of 10 of that without pain, you are ready to go up to more of a step. I have a half roller here. You can use a foam book, something that's about 2 to 4 inches that gives you a little bit of a step, but doesn't allow you to go all the way down like a stair step would. Same thing with this. We're gonna do 3 sets of 10. When that's not painful, then you move up to the step. Our last exercise for this brings in a little bit of a dynamic movement. We are just doing small standing still hops. As you get more comfortable, you can kind of do that 4 square movement we were talking about, but this is both legs right now. So we're just gonna come off the ground. We're not trying to jump up really high, we're just gonna hop. Start with 3 sets of 10, work your way up to 3 sets of 20 of those, letting pain modify you and control where you're going. Round 2 of our strength series for Achilles tendinopathy. The moves are pretty similar. We're just increasing the intensity, the volume, and the weight. That's what's important with Achilles. It's increasing the load of the muscles that make up the Achilles and letting that tendon adapt and be able to accommodate to that so you can get back out there and run long, hard mileage. Our first move this time is similar to the last time. We're not doing an isometric hold, but we're going to do heavy calf raises. Again, we're gonna start about 50% of your body weight on a bar, moving up to 75%. Again, say I'm 200 pounds, I'm gonna start with 100, I'm gonna work up to 150. What we're gonna do is 5 sets of 5, and this is going to be nice and slow and controlled. It's not a quick calf raise, it's a coming up, coming back down. We're gonna do 5 sets of 5. Again, start with whatever 50% of your body weight is. Over the course of a week or two, up that to 75%. Okay, now we're gonna work into the eccentric movements again. This time we're gonna load it up. Same process, we're gonna start going flat ground, then we're gonna work ourselves up to maybe 2 to 4 inches, and then we'll do a stair. With this one, I wanna grab something heavy. Grab something that's about 20-25% of your body weight. Again, say I'm 200 pounds, this is a 45-pound kettlebell. I'm going to work through those same movements, starting with 3 sets of 5, working up to 3 sets to 15 to 20. Lastly, we're gonna work on our hops again. This time we're doing single leg, and if you have a metronome on your phone, I want you to use that. We're gonna start with 120 beats per minute, working up to about 160 beats per minute. You're only gonna do 20 on each side, but these hops are quick. They're not big high jumps, they're just quick reactive jumps. All right, we made it to the last part of our strength series to help with the Achilles tendinopathy, either prevention or getting you over it and then preventing it again. But we are going to step up the intensity this time. We have some movements that are really gonna be great to just add into your strength training for the next 6 to 9 months. This is a long-term process and you have to remember that. Tendon injuries take a long time. Prevention takes frequent work. You just always have to address it. So when this feels better, doesn't mean that you get to stop doing the mobility or the stability or the strength training. This has to be part of your program. So I'm going to give you a couple ideas here on this last one to work into your program when you're feeling great, when you're training great, to add in once or twice a week. Our first one is going to be a soleus wall sit. So what we're gonna do is get your back up against the wall. We're all familiar with the wall sit where you actually get to go into this position. But what's going to change is we're gonna come up on our toes. So we're gonna bring our feet in a little bit closer to us. We're coming up on our toes. And then as we're in this wall sit position, working on the quads and feeling a burn already in the calves, we're just gonna do toe taps. Up on those toes the whole time. We're gonna do 3 sets of 10 taps. Next up is a seated calf raise. This tries to isolate the soleus a little bit better than a standing calf raise, but you can load up quite a bit here as well. So you can use a Smith machine. Most gyms will actually have a machine that specifically does this. What we wanna work up to is about half our body weight on that machine because it is a little tougher. But we're going to work up to 3 sets of 20. The last exercise for this one, and the one that I want you just to continue to work on and make sure is in your strength training program, because your strength training is runners, right? Absolutely. So heavy calf raises. The research says the stronger your soleus, which you should be able to handle 2.5 times your body weight. But what I'd like to see you to be able to do is 100% of your weight on this bar. So I've got 200 pounds on this bar, and I'm coming up and doing 5 sets of 5 calf raises. And I'm doing this once or twice a week with my strength training program to keep my calves strong and keep that Achilles healthy to be able to handle the load.